It's such a friendly atmosphere here. It just feels so warm. So I'm going to talk about the startup where I work. We are called Investly, and our mission is to help businesses grow by solving a very specific problem that stops them from growing. And I'm going to tell our story. I'm going to tell about the lessons that we learned, some mistakes that we've done, and some good stuff that we've done. And I'm going to support my speech by showing some pictures of us, because I'm a big believer in the team spirit. I am the team spirit holder in our company. And I'm always like, yeah, let's do something together. And people are like, let's work. But okay. Anyway, I'm a product engineer. Yeah, I code. So let's... Yeah. So let's start with the beginning. First, there were three. Siim Maivel from Estonia worked at a bank in Switzerland. And he understood that after the financial crisis, for small and medium businesses, it became a little bit hard to get money to take loans, because banks are not willing to give loans to the companies which probability of default is like bigger than 1%. But if your company has this probability of default, which is a little bit higher, 1, 2, 3, 4%, it doesn't mean that you're a bad company. You can still pay back your loans and you can still be trustworthy. So he found people who agreed with him, and they built the first team. Ruth Chamberlain from London and Vishal Sahu from India. He was the one who developed the initial platform. So I really like this picture because Siim here really has a baby face. He was 24 at the time when he founded the startup. So it's inspiration for everyone to, if you have some very good idea, just don't be scared, share it, talk about it, and find people who will believe in your idea. So they had some savings, these three, and they initially got a small funding from Business Angel. So they were developing the very first product, which was giving out loans to small and medium-sized companies. They basically spend their savings and then work for free for some time, but they really believe in what they were doing. So we started giving loans from 2014 August. Then, after we gave about 15 loans, we started to talk with our clients more and really trying to understand what is their problem, why they don't grow. And we understood that often it's because they have clients who they make service to, they provide some service, and these clients pay them for the service in 30 or 60 days. And this is a long time for a business, because you want to work, you want to continue, you want to buy some new things and develop your product. But if you have to wait for 60 days, you cannot hire people, you cannot pay salaries. So it's a problem. And we thought, hey, maybe by giving loans, we are not actually solving the root of the problem that they have. This is why we started working on a new product. And by this time, we already raised first seed round from venture capital, based in Austria. And they basically invested in us, in the other product that we had. So we also had to convince them that this is what we want to do more, that this is what will help the businesses grow all over the world. In the meanwhile, our team was also growing. And actually, this picture is from a small party that we threw for our developer, Dennis, who went to the army. So I will talk a little bit about the product which we are doing now. And actually, some slides are, the slides are in Russian because I was doing a presentation for one event in Narva some months ago. So, what is invoice financing? I will explain in the example of my mother, who is working in food industry. So let's say that she made 10,000 chicken Kievs. She bought some meat from her provider. She made this, and she's selling to her buyer. Often is some market chain that will then sell it to their clients. So she made this 10,000 chicken Kievs, and she issued an invoice. So what is happening now is that because of the structure of that buyer, it's a big company, etc., many steps, many people who need to check your products, blah, blah, blah. They pay you back not now, but in 2 months. But another market chain is already asking you to make more chicken cutlets, and you need to buy your raw meat from your provider. And you can't do that because you are waiting for them to pay you. So what we are offering is you sell your invoice to us, but with a small discount. If your invoice is originally 10,000 euros, we will give you money now, not in 2 months, but we will leave for us 1 to 3% of this amount. So you will get 9,800 euros, for example. Then the buyer will pay us back in 2 months because we are okay to wait. Yeah. So this is what we did. We pitched it, and our investors believed in us again. And they said, yeah, go for it. So what happened then is the previous product was prototyped. It was an MVP situation. And we had to make another prototype very fast. Like, our team was given 1 month to basically develop a totally new thing with other repayment strategy and stuff like that. So we did it. We did it. We had to prove our investors and ourselves that this works, that people are interested in us, and that we can help these businesses. So it went fine before we started growing big. And we got more clients. People were more, like, they trusted us more. But at one point, we found out that we cannot write all these fun features that we want, because about 60% of our time, we're just fixing critical bugs. Our database was not designed for the new products, and the one that was designed before that was an MVP version. It was time to grow up, in other words. It was time to really write the software that you are proud of. And what brought us here cannot take us further. So by that time, we had a new CTO coming from LHV Bank. And we asked him, so what do we do with what we have? Should we microservice? Should we take one part of our application and make a service out of that, API, blah, blah, blah? Or should we just rewrite the whole code base? There are a lot of questions. And I think that maybe some startups have the same problem. Because when you prototype, when you don't have time, you don't exactly create 100% great software. So we started thinking, which technology stack should we use? Our 1.0 version was written in Grails. Has anyone ever developed in Grails? Anyone? No? Okay, Grails. Great framework. It provides both backend and frontend. You can develop really quickly, like 3 weeks. So should we use it? Because our developers already are used to them and they know how to develop in this framework. Or we don't trust it because when we notice that when there are big amounts of people on our site, the site goes down and we don't know why the problem is. We buy more space, it doesn't work. So maybe Grows is not the best. So what then? Spring Boot, Angular? Angular 1 or Angular 2? People are developing Angular 1 a lot. But there's the sexy Angular 2 and, well, not a lot of people are working with it, so we're not sure that it's going to be good. Or maybe Aurelia framework makes small waves right now in the development world. So which language should we use? Groovy, because our developers are used to Groovy and I believe in Groovy. Or Java, because our CTO is a Java guy and it's very easy to find a developer who works in Java. So we were thinking about it a lot, and in the end, we just thought that some decision has to be made. We had 2 camps. One was believing in Spring Boot and Aurelia. Another camp was believed in Grails. Well, the first camp won. So we decided to rewrite the whole code base and make a real good product that fits what we need and build a database that is not rebuilt from the old one, but that really serves what we need. So, yeah, this picture shows that at that time we were like in the woods. We were a little bit lost and couldn't finally make the decision. But what happened now is that we have been developing this new platform for more than 5 months. It's not very good. It takes us a bit too long. Aurelia was at the time in beta version. It's in alpha now. So, I don't know if it was a good decision anymore. I still believe in the technology stack that we chose. But maybe if we would have chosen Grails, we would have developed faster. But maybe in 2 years, we would have to rewrite everything again. So this is a piece of thought for you. Anyway, we are happy that at least we made this decision, and the launch of the new application is any day now for 2 weeks. Yeah. So, meanwhile, we had fun things happening. We launched a bootcamp for finding new talent. So, we had big changes in the technological team. 2 key people left. 1 key person joined. And we understood that we need more developers. Our CTO is currently doing his doctoral studies in Tallinn Technological University, and he's teaching there as well. So he had this idea, hey, why won't we just make a bootcamp for students and hire the best people of them? So we launched a bootcamp, and he advertised it in the university. We got about 40 applications, which actually is more than we thought would come, and we chose 4 people for the bootcamp. 3 of them stayed. And as you see on the right side of the picture, we get along quite well. I hope they're not fake smiling here while holding me. So, lesson learned here is that you can find good, motivated people in the university. Now, a little bit more about hiring, because during last year, we have grown from 5 people to 22, so it has been a very big transition to us. When you start growing people-wise, try to, well, what we are doing is we try to find people who you can be in the same boat with. People who think like you, who have similar opinions. Because work in a startup is not your usual work in a corporation. There are some tough times. Sometimes things don't work, and you have to take it chill. Have to be chill about it. At the same time, this is the place to share your ideas. So find people with great ideas. Find people who have them and not afraid to share them, and who want to fulfill them. And now one of the last topics about hiring is how to handle the fast team growth. Actually, this is something that I am dealing with right now, because we had, a year ago, we had 3 developers. Now we have 9, I think, and it all happened very quickly. So we were just talking with someone here some time ago that we are transitioning still, and we are trying to solve the problem of our stand-ups becoming too long. First it was 3 guys, well, I'm a girl, anyway. Our stand-ups were like 3 minutes. We were working very closely together. We knew what each of us were doing and what each of us was capable of. Now it's 9. Some of them work abroad. Stand-up takes like half an hour. Plannings take longer than that, obviously. So if someone knows the recipe of how to handle it, I'm willing to listen. But most important is not forgetting to have fun, which is actually not something that we are doing very often, because we are launching this Investly 2.0 and everyone wants to just finally launch it, just start growing even faster and help customer support to be able to onboard more clients, etc. So we don't have fun that often. Hey, but when we do it well. If someone has ever been to Tallinn, this is the main square. And our office is on main square, and we have a sauna there, because we're Estonians. So anyway, now to finish my little talk is what's next? What is our plan next? So we still want to support our mission to help businesses grow. This is really the essence of what we're doing. We're not just all about money. We really want to help these people. And our customers feel that. So probably the main product will still be invoice financing in the coming years. But what we want to do is, when a business owner feels that he has a problem with cash flow and he thinks about this word invoice financing, we want him to think Investly right away. And our mission is not to make person use our application more and more like Facebook or Instagram. We don't like count clicks or something. Actually, we want these people to use our application as less as possible, but use it. So we want to automate everything. If you are our customer, you don't have to do almost anything to onboard, to sell your invoice, to get the money fast. And in the end, you will prosper by using our app. And to end my speech, these are our great sponsors. Thank you, guys. Thank you, wise guys. Been to your accelerator, really satisfied. Yeah, that's it from me.
Questions?
Hello. So you manage your customers' cash flow. Am I right?
Well, in a sense, yes.
But how do you manage your cash flow? Because I can imagine that you might have problems with companies. So you do best for customers, but how do you manage your problems?
So your question is that what if the client of our client doesn't pay us?
Yes.
Yeah. This is a good question, and a very important question also for us. So what we are doing is we credit check, of course, both the seller, our client, and the invoice buyer. And we are doing a very thorough check about it. What is a bit easy for us is that usually the buyer company is bigger one, and it usually has a reputation. It usually, well, it's not the poorest one, so to say. So usually they are quite trustworthy. And before we actually buy this invoice, we talk among each other and ask, would you buy this invoice? And if the answer is yes, then we do it. So far, we did not have any problems. So all our invoices are paid back. We did notice late payments though. And in Estonia, it's quite often happens that the buyers pay not maybe in 1 month, but 1 month in 1 week. And we already plan it in advance.
Have you considered, or maybe you already work with some insurance companies in terms of, like, if the company doesn't pay in this period, you get some compensation from insurance company? And
yeah, we are
that.
thinking about it. The issue here is that if we start buying insurance, then our clients would have to give a bigger discount on their invoices and they will receive less money. But so far, we really didn't have any problems with paying invoices, which is great, but we are prepared.
But you are taking less risks. But yes, with insurance, you could take more invoices like this.
Yeah,
maybe some of them can be
you.
insured, not all of them, and so on.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any more questions?
It seems that you still have doubts about the technology you chosen. Do you have any time to get some arguments about why exactly the technology is not useful or why it's useful in compare it with the other technologies, so that you could have some grounded arguments, not just feeling of it, but real a lot of cases where it doesn't play well, because maybe you're acquired some technical debt. Maybe there is a problem that there is a lot of code, a lot of problems with infrastructure, that some of the operations are done manually. There is not automated testing. There is some kind of stuff that people are doing manually. It's not more technology, but more You know the technical depth that is acquired over
Yeah,
time.
I understand what you mean, and of course we thought about that. We thought, is it the technology? And back then, we thought yes, but we weren't sure. In any way, yeah, I can't really answer. Yeah, I still can't answer that. But what I know is that it motivated people a lot to work with the technology stack that we decided to use in the end. So people were really motivated to try Spring Boot and try Aurelia. And this is when we got sold. But it wasn't necessarily the framework that we used.
But
Legacy.
But it was necessarily a step to discuss it, so that everyone has accepted that this is the technology we're going to use no matter what, and not going to switch sides in the middle of the process.
Well, we tested a little bit, played with it a little bit, and really liked it. So it was really a decision of the developers to use it.